All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope all is going well. I am shiny today, apparently. But hey, it is what it is. Of course, thank you for joining. So today, here on the stream, a little bit of a quieter one compared to last week, or the last stream, but granted, we had so much to talk about last Monday, it wasn't even funny. Nice to have a little bit of a calmer day here. Got a couple of tournaments that did just happen just yesterday, actually. And then we'll have probably a lot of time on our hands, so I can kind of go through my Illuvium routine with everybody. Everything from my Illuvium Zero arena play as well. I know personally one thing I've been trying... Do we have a disconnect already? I just rebooted the router. I definitely have to talk to my ISP, my goodness. But again, God forbid the stream doesn't come up. It does come up usually within 5 seconds. If need be, fire off a refresh. I do not know why it does that. I'm still fighting, unfortunately. But yeah, so gameplay for today, let's go through these results. Let's go through... It's the Leviathan tournament from Tempest Gaming, as well as a Dreamers Esports tournament. One of their free ones just happened yesterday. And I just want to go over, see how the community is doing in that regard. And then from there, again, kind of do my Illuvium Zero chores of sorts, I guess you can call it. But we'll go through that, and then we'll get into the arena. What I was saying before the internet so rudely interrupted me was, started trying putting out some different videos. I cut down on my amount of shorts that I was putting out significantly to try and emphasize more on longer-term videos. Unfortunately, one of the things that happened is I had made the augments and legendary augments video. That was based off of patch 1.12. I'm thankful that I get in game a lot of times too, like people saying that the video helped them, and that means the absolute world to me. I'm so glad it does. But I hate it now because my video is completely outdated. And that's okay. It means that things are getting changed, things are updating, things are getting better. Yeah, everything from the icons to the names to the statistics on the augments themselves are all outdated, so I definitely need to go through and remake that video to at least get the names and base stats correct. Then I can make smaller changes as needed as I go. But one of the ones that I did just end up dropping just about an hour ago was my first match that I actually did end up playing on stream. On the new patch. It would have been my second game, because the first one I tried to force fighters and that did not work. But second game ended up finding a W, and seeing the process of how I got there, turned that into a video. And depending on reception, I might try and do more stuff like that. And then, of course, we'll see from there. My schedule hasn't necessarily lined up with any tournament dates anymore, so like I can't do a live cast for Dreamers or for the Leviathan tournament, for example. But of course there is always the Illuvium Pro League, which I'm happy to say I'm going to be back on the Illuvium Pro League broadcast once again this weekend. Saturday, for me it's at about 1 o'clock, but I think it's about 4 UTC by the time Grand Finals happen. We'll be doing the stream of the Grand Finals. We'll be there, I'll be there, and it should be, from what I understand, it should be the same three of us. So it'll be Paz, Caveman, and I. We're trying really hard to improve as a trio, and it's definitely been a learning experience for me, because the majority of my casting experience, at least off the start, has been alone. Like, I'm used to just gapping like this and casting myself, getting exciting when necessary, but being able to break it down at the same time. Then during my time in college esports and then getting other professional gigs, 1 second. other gigs, I was always paired as duos. So I got lots of experience with that. But then going into Illuvium, I guess going into an auto battler, seeing how other auto battlers are commentated. If you go off of Riot for Teamfight Tactics, they have like 3-4 casters up there. They're all yapping about statistics. Nobody is really by playing the fight themselves. It's all just stats. It's all just analysis and predictions. So I'm thinking to myself, does nobody play in auto paddlers? Am I just looking in the wrong places here? Or is this genuinely how it is? And then passing commentary across 3 people has definitely been a learning experience, but I'm happy to have it. We have an awesome crew, an awesome group of casters and staff, so definitely willing to learn, but it's definitely a learning experience. Without further ado, let's take a look at some of the results coming up here. I'm going to start things off here with Dreamers. Of course, this just happened yesterday. I know it was a little bit odd because the Dreamers esports tournaments do end up colliding now, or rather the free ones collide with the Leviathan tournaments from Tempest Gaming now. So it makes things a little bit difficult for the community, or at least some of the community's top players that are heavily invested in Leviathan. So it's like we won't see even the tournament's own admin. Winnie's not in this, for example. But for anybody who doesn't necessarily push too hard for Leviathan or has a more free-to-play focus, these Daydream tournaments are still a good place to go. For the Tuesday ones, anyway. And we can see, the competition's still fierce here. Detective Alan A gonna find, I believe, their 2nd win in a row here. Absolutely crushing these tournaments. I'm a Fishy, of course, just coming in hot off of a solid IPL run. Narkesh as well. Karbasov also find their way up here into the top 5, and Drudo, and we can kind of see the rest of the field here. A couple more new faces, a couple of familiar faces, but honestly, for those that are kind of just getting their feet wet with competitions, but are nervous to hop into an IPL immediately, I still think these Tuesday Dreamers Esports tournaments are a fantastic way to go. They did make a pivot now, though, so that their the Dream Ladder, or the season-long points, and one of the tournaments each week are now locked behind a paywall via the Dream Pass, so that's something to keep in mind. If the season-long ladder was something that you're interested, like say myself, I loved the competing on the Dream Ladder. It is no longer a free thing, so keep that in mind. But the Tuesday events, still free to play. And as of right now, Detective Alan A on an absolute tear here in these tournaments. So we were saying about the admin, so Winnie, the admin for the Dreamers Esports tournaments, wasn't even there. So what is he doing? He's winning the whole damn Leviathan tournament. That is what they are doing. A fantastic showing there from winning from Team Monarch. With, of course, you got the points alongside the league, but 250 in the pocket for a 2-day event. Nicely done there for Winnie. Soda, our winner from our last IPL, up there as well. And then a couple of our familiar competitors. Fury Hype find themselves on the podium. Web3 and 4th. Fox Spirit, Slicks, Dr. Spoon, Hollow, Nariba, Texan. Bunch of people that we're familiar with here. Axel finding their way up there. Badul finding their way up there. Squawk as well, getting in there. I'm a Fishy, was playing in both events. Don't Contest Me, a player that we saw kind of just rise up in the last IPL. And then heck, our stream producer, Illumination, find their way into the top 16 for the 2nd week in a row. Congratulations to everybody for making it that far. Of course, even just getting into the top 32, which I'll show here, excuse me, is enough to find ourselves a little bit of prizing. So congrats to everybody for making it there. And then again, congrats to Winnie for the victory. that for a long time I've been saying that's a player that deserves a break or something because they've performed so well, and then usually something happens in the last grand finals that just derails the entire play, unfortunately. So they'll make it to grands, look very, very dominant, and then just get like 7th or 8th or something along those lines. But making it happen here with their own Illuvials too, because of course that's the whole perk of the Leviathan mode, is that you get the bonuses from having stuff that you actually own based off of your statistics and levels. So the hard work paid off. That's an awesome break there from Winnie. I believe even on X, like it sounded a good kind of emotional, and that's what I love to see. See if I can pull it up actually. Of course, now that I'm actually looking for him, I can't find him. I think Kieran retweeted their post, so I'll go there. There it is. Yeah, this was definitely a very, very sweet post here from Winnie. Just, you can tell the emotion is there. Why'd I invest so much life into the deck, which is pretty much what a lot of players are calling like their Illuvials, because it is very similar to like saying that you've built your card deck for like a traditional card game. But why'd I invest all or this much into the deck? Why'd I spend so many years on Illuvium and put in the tournament grind basically here? Yeah, incredible amount of nerves and emotions defending for the rights for Leviathan Gauntlet mode to exist, and there you go, finds the victory. I believe the stream itself there for that Leviathan tournament was on Storm and H's channel on Twitch. They're doing a solid job basically holding the fort solo, I believe, casting these matches, so big thanks to them. The VODs can be found there, I believe, as well in a Twitch past broadcast. But news-wise, that's pretty much the gist of it, because everything else for now with Illuvium has just been, of course, the new patch released with 1.13. Everybody's trying to figure out what is the strongest at this moment, and right now, it is definitely not clear. I see Nariba on constantly, I see Slicks on constantly, all grinding away trying to figure this out. And it's nice, at least as of right now, that it feels rather diverse. I'm sure things will get figured out eventually, but right now, we're still kind of in that honeymoon stage, so I'm gonna enjoy it while we can. The only problem that did kind of occur, though, is with the patch came a lot of lag, but it immediately got shouted out there by Illuvium themselves and their community manager. I know Philo immediately pushed, it's like, hey, we know about the lag, we're fixing it. So it was good to see that they're on top of things and making it known that they're aware of it. And I think 3 patches have basically come out since then, 3 hotfixes rather, to try and fix that issue. So glad they're on top of things. I know the joke was because it was moving some of the Illuvials sometimes to cause a bit of lag. So the joke was that just play Bunker and you don't have to worry about moving your Illuvials and you'd win. Which, given how my games went on Tuesday, or not on Tuesday, on Monday, there might be something to that. But without further ado here, I'm gonna get into my Illuvium routine. Made sure to actually save my 0 plots here for stream time itself. Make use of stream time to get I call it my chores, but I do enjoy logging in and getting this done, don't get me wrong. It's not a huge slog, per se. I have a couple of different plots. This one is my oldest. I have this one since the very first land sale. And by all means, if anybody in the chat or in the comments wants to roast my my base design, by all means, feel free. Part of me does want to take all of my lands, just like uproot everything and reposition everything. However, there is no easy way to do that right now. And of course, with Illuvium Zero itself, this is more so the support game to the overworld / MMO and now Arena. My main goal with my Zero plots is just in regards to skins. I personally am a collector of sorts, and I love being able to make my own skins. One of the things I personally do, if I can bring this back up here, is I actually have made a full little checklist here for myself showing what I do and don't own. And then as well as what I have on hand, what is being produced, is there anything in particular that I want, and then a skin crafting checklist for myself where I want at least a suit and a drone for as many things as I possibly can. That way I can match, and then I know the joke that I make to myself is that whatever I'm wearing in person is what I change my skin to, or my suit to that day. So I need like a Tatovi skin or something today. So with that, I'm gonna quickly set off a couple of my labs. But the way that my base is designed, I have it so that I can either go full pump trying to find more alluvial or more biodata, or I can just mass research for blueprints. What did I actually need here again? Checklist. I'm more so looking towards the earlier stage stuff right now. Archos needs stuff, so I can start from the top. If I were to then go back to my gameplay, I can set off some stuff for Archos. I like having a drone collection, so I tend to heavily favor that a little bit more. And then some people will say, well, Silent, you can just go onto the marketplace and probably buy these for like $1 or $2. And I say, where is the fun in that? I am a big fan of being self-sufficient in the games that I play if it is available. And with the options available in the game, I will gladly do it this way. The one thing in my checklist that I was missing in terms of blueprints. So the one thing, excuse me, that I'm really proud of right now is that if I swing back over here, the only tier 1 that I'm missing is the Exalted Grilla. Once I have that, I can basically research any of the tier 1 alluvials that I want across my plots. So, as of this, I think my Shard Bluff plot should be the one doing the scanning for today. And I can just focus on everything else being a research beacon of sorts. And back over. So this one's pretty much set. I don't have an easy way to quickly get my passives, so I'm going to collect it as much as possible. And of course, all of my lands are tier 1. There are bigger tiers out there that can do significantly more at once than what mine can. However, these tier 1s are the easiest to get into because they are the cheapest. And of course, as much as I love Illuvium, I am not in a position to chase these tier 2, 3, or higher land plots without causing a big problem, so. We'll do that. I have some research already settled in here. What was I cooking again here? Oh, yes, the cardalos. Turn on the repeats just in case I don't get it. I believe I have a suit for the cardalo. It was drones that I needed now. Got my fuel. Let's go through. No luck. No luck. Nope. Nope. Of course, the chance is very small. I believe it is like 5%. We're gonna have to go try again tomorrow. Yeah, because I know people are probably gonna look at this, for example, and say, like, that's disgusting because your efficiency is so low. Why would you willingly go into that? The way I see it is that, if I recall correctly, it's like a 5% chance to actually get a scan pulled off right now. It doesn't show any. It's like, all I know is I remember, at least before, it used to be a 5% chance of actually successfully finding an alluvial or finding a blueprint based off of your materials labs for blueprints. And half of 5%, what, 2.5? It's still going to be a low chance anyway. So why not just have more shots at it? And I have been able to find a ton more biodata since doing this, even though off first glance, this does not look like it makes any sense at all. And because this plot is rather, or I'm gonna call it wealthy, but it's not really, and it has my best chance at actually finding that exalted Rilla, I am gonna fire off my scanners. Load them all up, we'll come back tomorrow and see if we get lucky. Collect as much as I possibly can before going over. Grab a couple of these passives, and I'll move over to my next plot. My transducers are open. Is there anything I want to fire off right now? Not yet, because I know personally the biggest issue I'm having right now is originally I went for blueprints of stuff from higher tiers first, but then in order to craft them, you need 3 of each alluvial. So what are the chances that I'm going to find, as a very, very low spend, next to no spend player, what are the chances I'm going to be able to find 3 tier 5s? Or 3 tier 4s? Heck, even trying to find 3 tier 3s can be difficult. So now that's where I kind of refocused. I have the more collection-based mindset. And it's been a lot more fun for me, actually, since then. For this plot, I have clings on the way, it looks like. Can't remember if it was suit or drone. I believe it's drone. I believe I do have a suit already. I can always quickly reference my sheet here. Yes, I do have 2 suits, and then I also have the Chopin, so I'm looking for the rest of the drones here for the clings. Any success? Streamer luck, maybe? I'll take effects, though. It's cute. Hey, we got the Hilda. There we go. So, what I'll end up doing now, hop back over, and cling. There you are. We can add the Hilda checkmark. And I will probably pump this out in a transducer. Do I have transducers available? I do have one. And I can set one off. Okay, fire that off. So I always assume that it's going to be about 7 days. Quick math. $168 divided by 24. Yeah, but 7 days. Does that also incorporate the road bonus? Okay, so it's down to 140 with the road bonus. I do try to make sure that I have as much linked as I possibly can. Let's pull out the calculator again, one more time. That was 140 divided by 24. That is about just under 6 days to do. So what I can do now, let's go back here. Production. This is from Abyssal Basin. This is a Kling. This is a drone. Hilda started on the 17th. About 6 days. So about the 23rd. Just be safe. 24. And then this set. Okay, let's hop back into it. So that's basically how my skin production works here. I still have some room for possibly some other drones, if I got lucky. Back to my science. Okay, now we can see how our scanners do. No luck. No luck. Nerp. And Chikondi, I have this on another plot, so I'm not going to mark it down on my sheet. But this gives me more flexibility now that I found that one. And then as you can probably see up in the top right-hand corner, all the fuel icons. This plot is rather well off, so I can go off with scanning and researching at the same time. If this somehow got the Exalted Grilla, then I would stop production and I'd level up all of my scanners to level 2 and then start hunting for lynxes. I do have the one that is level 5, but everything else is level 1. And then this final plot that is my newest, this one I was experimenting with a little bit because I couldn't really find much research anywhere on it. But if I just spammed converters, what does it end up producing me? And honestly, as of right now, it's been like from getting to early stages to getting to Nexus level 9 for the highest level of buildings and being able to fill up the plot with the most amount of buildings possible. This way did the fastest for me. Is this probably good in the long run? Not in the slightest. Like, every single one of these converters are as, like, low efficiency as you possibly can. So it's basically like standard economy now in the world. But there's so many of them that at least it's doing a little bit. And right now, anyway, it's getting the job done. But this plot is not far along enough to warrant researching yet. I just finished leveling up the quantum fabricant, so what I'm actually going to try and do is see if I can level up my fuel mine. I might be too short when it comes to the amount of fuel needed. I need 150, so yeah, I need to keep going for a little bit longer, it looks like. And then just keep... First we'll pick that up, but then continue to convert the Solon that I'm getting to the Hyperion so I can eventually get this to the max level here. Otherwise, just collect my mines and pretty much call it a day. I'm not trying to force any other upgrades. I'm not trying to level up these converters very much. You can see these are only level 6, when in all reality I can bring this up to 8 or even 9 if I wanted to. But I'm just strictly trying to focus on saving my fuel for the fuel miners. Eventually, once that's done, I can slowly start leveling up the storages, leveling up the whatchamacallit, storages, my converters for more passive fuel as well, and going from there. With that, that's about as full as I can get all of my plots for now. So now that the chores are done, sort of speak, let's get into the game. Hop over from 0 over to Illuvium itself. Go from there. Knock on wood, it looks like my internet's behaving for now, so let's rejoice while we can. I personally, competitive-wise here in the arena, am pretty proud. I have the highest ranking that I've ever had in Illuvium. I think I'm at about 1,450, so 1,500 is definitely a possibility. I was in the top 100 in the world at one point. Had a couple of games, though, where I was playing in a game when I probably shouldn't have. I did, of course, have the family as well, which needs attention, and I might have distracted myself ever so much to the point where I did not play very well in a couple of games, but that's totally fine. Got plenty of time to make that back up, and at the end of the day, family's first. Come on back, Illuvium. There you are. Alright. I did get to progress on my battle pass a little while. I finally have a drone blast. So it's funny seeing the vine come out and smack people when I went around. You have 2 of the Brightland themed drones. And today's mission, base top 4, that's easy peasy. Fuse on Adorius, that's a little difficult. And then still the Lamut for the weekly mission with the Blasonite. That is definitely a toughie. Let's hop in. This is the Lesser Gorilla. Titofi. Do I have a drone for Titofi? I do not, it looks like. Yeah, I don't have the purples that I want, unfortunately. And I mean, I know there's the general or the generic one, but I don't want to be generic. I will be Archie. And we'll just wait for our game. Hopefully comes up soon. And with the battle pass, of course, I've gone quite a bit through, but there's still plenty more to go. Granted, it gives you 3 months, thankfully. I still am very curious about this end goal here. Because the end goal says that you get a 2 points multiplier. However, if you've made it to the end, why do you need more points? Unless this could maybe be used on the next battle pass, which would be pretty cool. But I'm a little unsure about it. And then the board itself. This looks really, really pretty. I would love to switch things up. I love my Crimson Wastes. I do have that battle board. But even the default is nice. But I like the Crimson Wastes. I love the idea personally about being the water nature kind of spellcaster healer in a desert wasted world. It has been nice seeing people picking up Illuvium, though. Most of these games have had a couple of new faces in each one. Heck, even in the streaming space, I've been seeing more people on Twitch anyway, pulling Illuvium up as something that they're willing to stream. Anything from like a lot of very, very casual stuff, but I love that too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna knock anybody for it. Heck, even my own stream right here, right now, is very casual in nature, and it's probably pretty poor quality given how much I've done esports broadcasting. But again, working with the best that I have personally. I am going to be doing some overlay upgrades though in the future to try and add that extra flash. But the thing is, for myself anyway, I always had the mindset that I could spend a bunch of time making these grand overlays and flashy parts. But even when I was at my old work, when I was working for the college esports teams, like, yes, I can have prettier overlays, or I can have more time focused on making the product good, building the storylines and making like interesting content, because at least my mindset towards it is that you can take a stream, as long as it has decent audio and the picture, like the gameplay itself, and your content isn't fuzzy. As long as you have those two, you can be entertaining and people will watch. But if you have terrible content and have nice overlays, you've put lipstick on a turd. It doesn't make anything. Nobody wants it. So that's why, like, make the content, make that part good. You can make it nice later. Has always been my mindset. But I will give myself the knock that maybe I wait a little too long with looking for improvements. I'm also completely open to the idea that maybe I'm just coping, so I very well could be wrong. I'm not going to say that I'm the guaranteed, like, when you should believe my way or the highway kind of speaking. Contrary to popular belief, I am not hard to work with, and I do take feedback. Also, big shout outs to Illuvium and the Illuvium community. I believe Illuvium retweeted the stream here on X, so big thank you. Much appreciated as always. Looking forward to the next events with y'all. And to the new followers that have joined throughout the stream as well already. Awesome to have you. I hope you're having a great time and a great morning, night, wherever you may happen to be. And we get legendary augments right off the rip. Alright, let's go. Personally, I love this. I understand why competitors don't, but personally, I love this. Alright. We got a little Dokka guy to start off with. Oh, Dragon Drop is back. Sick. The hotfixes might have done the trick in regards to the lag that we were experiencing before. Granted, it is also very, very early, but it is nice that the Dragon Drop is here. In terms of people in my lobby, I see a ton of new faces, and then there's Olay the Show. Very strong player in their own right. Okay, it is a silent stream, which means we absolutely mandatory must take the links at all costs, for they are our baby, and I love the links. I'm waiting on taking my legendary augment because I want to see what my first components end up being. Like, I already got the magic one. If I get another magic one, then I'm going to try and focus. Oh, okay, it's going to give me literally a mix of everything. Okay, that doesn't help me at all. Personally, I love it when I get all of one color or two of one color, because now I just don't know what to pick. How many... Okay, so this is the old evasive veil. I think that's just the safest pick all around. Let's quickly try to pop these augments on everybody without actually combining them. Probably going to get bopped because I was not paying attention to the guy's Valente, which is a shiny, by the way. Nice. Okay, that augment was a fantastic pickup, it looks like. And there's that Battle Pass drone blast coming on through. Appropriately, I am in the Archie fit, so nature's set and good to go. Weapon time. I don't play rogues. Staff I will consider. Fire I will consider. Okay. I think I'm going with the Lance. The potential here in my mind for doing this, as I should have in theory leveled up some experience. Because personally, of course, I play a lot of Scion, play a lot of Bunker. It's the kind of style I do enjoy. With that, there's one of two options that kind of come to the table. I can either go for the air style like I'm going for now, and hope I run into Squeezes and the Ophisto, or some of my other shock fellows like the Rai here. Excuse me. Or eventually pivot out of this into a earth or fire weapon, and just focus on magma. I do get the Omnivamp. It is a tiny amount, but I like having at least a little bit of it, just in case. And with the units that I'm picking up right now, these two, the T-Roo, as well as the Rai, potentially, if things go my way, like, I'm not going to roll heavily for it, at least as of right now, I'm not going to roll heavily for it, but if the world happens where I get a bunch of these and I can start building shock units quicker, it would definitely solidify my choice in strategy earlier than expected. But at least for now, I am not going to worry about level. Or not level, rolling. These new names are going to take some getting used to. Well, it used to be the power ascent here onto that Dokka. Just so that one guy doesn't end up getting an exalted, I'm just going to quickly take this guy and put him to the side. It doesn't cost me anything, so no harm, no foul. I don't necessarily like targeting people per se, but if it's not going to cost me credits, there's no reason not to. So I'm just cruising my way to level 5, slowly but surely. The intention was to kind of lose streak a little bit, but we managed to get 2 W's on the board. Pick these up. What do we get? Tank and physical damage. Interesting. So optimally, I need either one of these yellow components to kind of even things out, or I need to commit to something physical, I feel like, because right now, kind of backwards. Getting this heady for free would be kind of nice, though. Got the yellow, too. No, 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 no. Disho, that's mine. Mine. Alright, so that's a pretty decent tank. I'll gladly accept that. Fellow links. Yellow to yellow. That's Omega Power. That's my engine. I will take the engine. Attack damage. I feel like the percent health is almost mandatory at this point. I will gladly take that. Health-wise, let's take the Thorn-esque one. And in a second here, not this round, but the next, I will get to the next level and put my Heady on the board, get that 3rd bulwark on the field. Optimally, I probably should have moved over that augment to my links. A little bit of a misplay in that regard. Illuvials are holding the line nicely, though, so I'm going to get away with it. May not have been 100% optimal, but we got the job done. And then right as we hit level 5 here, I can start building towards my comp. With Heady now on the board, health-wise, you just straight up have more, don't you? Oh, not even. Okay, let's keep it with you then. 1, 2, with you there for number 3. I'm gonna hold for just one more second here to get back up to 70. Then I'm looking for Lynxes, and as well as my other fellow Shockmates. Nobody really seems to be pushing hard for Lynx, and with some of the physical augments I have, going for a rogue isn't necessarily a terrible idea. So I'm going to pull the trigger on it here in a second. A lot of people say that the way that I'm about to play is rather reckless, but I love Lynxes, so it is what it is. It makes me happy at the end of the day. Okay, bam. I think this guy too is actually quite nice. Pop you over. I am going to add you as a dive buddy. This is actually kind of looking very similar to what my first stream game was, or my first video was. It was this exact kind of style. And we are going to keep pushing here in a second. Do I go reckless, or do I reserve? I think I'll pause at 60. I'll try and do this in pieces. I don't think anybody's really contesting me right now for Lynxes. Maybe I am slightly adapting here Or maybe I'm just yapping, I don't know, it could be either or, but before I would just blow my entire credit load on getting links as fast as possible. But because nobody's actually going for it right now, like I don't really see it on anybody's bench, could be a wise way to go. Switching over to Earth Grasp actually would probably be a wise choice. Give me that magma option later down the road. I feel like that's probably going to be easier to perform with compared to what I'm running right now. As I level up a T-Roo, but actually if I'm switching off that style, I may not even necessarily need it. I am finding everything right now. Now I'll slowly start trimming away at some of my bench. I've almost got to my links. I've got a lot of my links. Oh, I still had that guy as a rogue. Whoops. I mean, it might still work. Do I still have my evasive veiling? There we go. Okay. This actually makes up for that. I'd love to pick that up. Same thing with that, same thing with that. Okay. Because I think this is eventually going to pivot into a 5 bulwark. I'm gonna go for the additional resistances. It might be a mistake, but let's try this. NPC round, so I'm feeling quite peaceful. Nobody else is touching my links. Not sure if game sounds kind of quiet for y'all, so I'm gonna quickly bump this up a little bit. And hello, beautiful. There you are. Synergy-wise, another Earth Bulwark kind of style. Rogue Imprint I don't really care for as much. I'm gonna go for Earth. I think with the way that I want to play, that's the 5 bulwarks will come naturally. I don't need to stretch it. Doing something kind of like this. You are here. I need to swap this guy out with something real quick. In fact, oh, I didn't do it fast enough, but the Harbinger is right there that I could play with. Was not paying attention to the fact that that was a rogue team. And Crotch Sphere here is level 7 already, meanwhile I'm level 5. But look at this beautiful Lynx go with the rest of the tanks. This was literally about a best case scenario here for me, because normally you have to invest pretty heavily into the Lynx in order to kind of secure that early to mid-game dominance. And it sacrifices a lot of credits to do so. I didn't have to pay for like anything. And it is absolutely beautiful. Pair my Scion up here with the tanks so that I get that Harbinger bonus. Even though I did pivot away, I don't mind the squeeze actually. In fact, if I level them up and pop you on the field, tuck you away nice and safely, turn you into it. Oh, I'm still too slow with my damn augments. Okay. And I'll pick Mammoth up as well. It's crazy that I'm level 6 and still finding a lot of these higher tier alluvials. Okay. Which, well, buff did it give me? Restore energy? Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. I'll take it. Normally I love building that staff pure damage, but the regen eventually kind of turns into more damage anyway, because I'm firing off my shot more often. Get him, Lynx. There we go. So far, so good. Because I have a mixture of TPS kind of going on here, anything red or yellow I'm probably fine with. I'm just going to go for whatever happens to have the highest value regardless of what color it is. Even if it does end up being blue, I don't mind a tank either. Yoink away the dash. I know it's going to slow down my DPS per se, but I don't mind tank either. And then I can just sell the dash because I'm probably not using it. I have an abundance of gold here, so I am going to level. Stay at that max max HP mark. Give my squeeze a little bit of bonus damage. And I will get my mammoth onto the board at some point here. There we go. Not in the optimal position. I was a little bit slow once again. Good heal from the Archos, keeping that squeeze alive right in front of the penguin's face. It will eventually fall, but this penguin is still just a mere slapping. It looks like my back line is falling, but that's a-okay. My front line is still right there, ready to wreck your face. And we do take out the monk here before that power ascent comes through. Easy does it. Lynx and squad. My first big push. Where do I want to go? With the attack augments that I have, this screams that I should probably go for Scoriox. There's one person going full fire, but that's not going very well for them. The option for Scoriox is there. Could very well opt for some sort of mixed damage kind of composition where I have the Scoriox plus the squeeze. Okay, good old shunt coming out there from the mammoth, sending away that ramp feed to do literally nothing. It is all coming together. I'm no longer using this for I'm just gonna... Now for my next levels here, in fact I shouldn't have put the Mammoth on board in theory. Once I hit level 8 I might take Mammoth off. And then put 2 Bulwarks on so I can get 5 Bulwark. And then make my level 9 Alluvial be the Mammoth. Which hopefully I would then get a Scion imprint. Give it to my Archos for some additional healing. And I would have the whole squad together. At some point, the only difference I would have to, or only change I would have to make would be in regards to the Lynx being replaced by a Scoriox, but at the same time, with the way that things are playing, I may not even need the Scoriox. Mammoth, you can go have a seat, you've done well. 5 Bulwark. Yeah, the line be held here. Squeeze the Scoriox's usual spot. There. I've not even been positioning my Lynx at all. Oh, I don't want to do that. No. I'll keep you there. In my next turn here, I need to move over that red to somebody else so that I can put the Omega Power onto my squeeze. Let the lightning come rain through and lets my Ranger and gorgeous Earthlings clean things up. Why don't we? How much Omnivamp do you have? You have some, but it is not for a penguin. We will clean that up nicely. Next up on the board, what do we want? Max health? I don't really have that much health. The emergency heal would be kind of nice. The consistent healing over time might not be a bad idea either. Or energy regen. I'm going to go for the consistent healing. That might be an error, but we will roll with it. The two ferns coming out to play is kind of interesting alongside the cling. If I can level up my cling on to its twine to the second evolution, I will 100% replace either that stage 1 Caribou or the Groko. My Lynx still has the untargetability, so I am not even worried right now. This is just beautiful. Feels like autopilot right now. Dennis, hello, welcome. How's it going, mate? I have so much credits right now. While I can and while I'm feeling safe, I'm just going to push levels. I know I'm going to lose eventually. Desho might be the one to do it. That is a pretty scary team, to be fair. I think I'm just going to 1-for-1 change here. Caribou with the Cling. Still end up having the Bulwark buffs. I should have paid a little bit more attention to my Lynx that time. This thing is going to dive directly into the middle of everybody. Thankfully, it does have that protection via the untargetability. But it's going to get popped extremely soon and probably put it in range of the Forest. Yep, so the first time, and it feels like this entire game, my Lynx is going to die. Yeah. Misplay on positioning is absolutely going to cost, but a 12-win streak... not too bad, in my opinion. Not bad at all. And I'm still sitting on all of my credits. Caribou, the chances of me actually leveling you up at this point here is kind of low. Squeak up a little bit more on levels. But based off of what this person's running, Fighter, Berserker... Who's the carry? The Riley? I will move Lynx over. Nobody's going to be diving onto my squad. And we'll get there. Pushing level 9, of course, is not only going to allow me to get my Mammoth on the board, but it's also going to make it extremely easier... or much easier, rather, to start finding more squeezes. And leveling that thing up. Optimally, now I just need to find more magic components. And that would be the best case scenario. Still even have a couple of those Pyries around in case that ends up being an option. Substitute out the Lynx for the Pyrie. So they're taking pretty much everything. I'm going to look for the cling, I think, because I want specifically that component, and buffing up to the twine would be nice. Usually the way that this composition screws up for me is if my front line is not strong enough. And right now, like, look, I still have a heady. The fact that it's been this strong of a composition and I don't have appropriate leveled up front line is incredible. So I have an engine. Now I want damage. Granted, my engine is on the links, so that's something to consider. If I level up to an Octius, I think I'll move the engine over to the squeeze. And what I'm referring to when I say an engine, so when I'm playing a Scion in particular, I go in a specific order. First, I want something that gets me energy faster. That's my engine. It doesn't have to be something permanent, but at least something off the start that gets me going. Then I want damage, and then hopefully something with Omnivamp for a little extra sustain. That is where my mindset is at when playing Scion. With hitting level 9, got my guy back on field, got another tank. Like, this is what used to be the Guardian's grid. Lynx, we are not dive bombing the entire team. Hang on. I do have a messy little bunker here. Like, my twine's not going to get out for a little while, and it is a slow bugger, but might be okay nonetheless. Lynx is still pretty healthy. It is finally starting to get fired upon here by that Pyre or the Ferriox in the background. Let's see if I can tear through enough of this front line for my DPS to actually start focusing the back. But Dopra here is doing a good job at taking care of my front line. Good old shunt directly into the squad, but the stun does not come out. So I'm going to lose this one, but that is fine. I am still sitting so pretty, it's not even funny. It is time to start rolling. Let's find some mammoths. Let's find some squeezes. And if I'm lucky enough to start finding Pyres, that is an option too. The Blazonite showing up makes things interesting as well, to the point where I might even actually warrant getting rid of my mammoth. Freezing is not going to do me any good here, so let's get moving. Okay. As the Octius appears, we are going to make some swaps here. I already have a mammoth on the field, it looks like. What did I just do? Okay. Squandering myself a little bit. Thankfully, my Twine and my Fur Knight are in the corner doing okay, but optimally, should have given myself a few extra moments there to position that. Octius is in a perfect scenario, though, to start raining. We just have to deal with these damn water rogues on my back line. I've been around here long enough to know that even if they're the last two alive, it doesn't mean this round is won, but it looks like we are going to clean up nicely here. Sweet. Hetty is finally going to level up into the Crunk, giving my attack damage over to Blazon, or not Blazonite, to Fur Knight. Mammoth has a little bit of extra range, so I'm going to move that over there. The tank item, I'm going to now make this guy the absolute beefcake. Untargetability will go over to Octius for now, just for that extra reinforcement, unless I can somehow find Blazonite here. I have so many options and I'm picking none of them. Knight is going to end up getting jumped on by the Ranger, but it should not stay there for very long. I'm a little bit nervous about that Jotun, though. That is an absolute beefcake. Make it rain, Octius. We need it quickly. I don't think we're gonna end up getting it. On the plus side here, we've already made the top 4. We're in the points. But that's not enough to satisfy me right now. Other option here, I don't need Eddie, no. That's what I'm looking for. Lynx, it's been good. I want to see if I can get to final stages here for some of these. I have 2 of them that are literally just sitting here. That's actually kind of huge. Hang on. Do now have magma, so I'm going to put my guy, not that guy, into a bit of a more aggressive position to try and get my magma to spread. This could hopefully help with my answer for dealing with that Jotun if I have to face it again. Scoriox is already on the board there here for Doper, or Dopre as well. Just a little bit unfortunate, but if I beat them, that is the end of the run here for them. Do I have enough of a front line to get this done? It doesn't look like it. I mean, good damage, we're getting the job done, but they still have a lot of beefy fellas here right next to me, including that flood that's just healing constantly. Okay. Machine gun Scoriox, though. Rat-tat-tat-ta, going right through me. Okay, there's one of my stage 3s. Can I find another? Squeeze, you can now come to the board. Got a few of them. I think it's safe to say that I'm probably not using Scoriox. Still have at least 2 magmas to help deal with the upfront battle style here of this show. Wait, it was Raphael that was the one with the Jotun. I mean, there is still some fighters, so should still be valuable. Support crate. Healing, yes. Brawler crates. Health, cleanse, shield. Cleanse? Question mark? Okay. Archos hold that. I've had this for so long and I've not even realized. Okay. Just raw. I was hoping for the attack speed, but didn't get it. I'd be foolish to not make this switch. Let's move everything to you. Oh, you're already Earth, so it doesn't matter. Give you the cleanser as well, if you can get some additional shots off later. Fern, gotcha. All right. Top 2 here, the show sitting extremely pretty. A very scary, tanky front line alongside that's Rip Lance. We're holding the line so far. The Lura's being a pain in the rear, though, in the back line. Making my stuns go elsewhere as well. Let's get them out quickly, please. Octius, this is where we need your shocks. Where's the shots? There we go, 1. Do it again. 2. Rip Lance is going absolutely bonkers, though. One thing I also now have is Wildfire. Can we trim the fat here with some fire onto him? Blinds, please come out. It does end up coming out. Is that enough time to do so? Look at this Omnivamp on this sucker. Chunk it quickly. Overtime, please. We did get it. Oh god, we got it, and Dopra is gone. We are in the top 2. I get first pick and don't know what to do. Oh my. Okay. Nope. Shields. What did he end up taking? Just the heady? Okay. So at the very least here, kind of do it this way. On Omega Steel. Okay, honestly, better than nothing. Can I find the I feel like I don't have... Where are the squeezes? Very surprised to have not seen a single one in that entire roll. Alright, come on. Get rid of the forest, please. Here we go. Okay, we didn't get the elimination, no reset this time, unfortunately. That's a lot of healthy bars on their side here. My next shot's not going to hit anything. Oh, it does hit the art. It's not in time, though. Come on. Magma, please. The fact that it went right after the Octius is kind of painful. I still have the untargetability. There we go. That was lucky. Hi, Winnie. How's it going? Congrats on your win once again yesterday. That was awesome. I am very shocked to have not found a single squeeze here. Until now. So Riplance is actually taking more of a frontal approach here with the Blotto. I'm curious, are they trying to make that come around the right-hand side? Poor Axon is just getting shredded as soon as it shows up here. They 100% have the beefier front line. I'm just getting luckier that I'm able to find some targets, and that Riplance is doing the dance of death, doing absolutely nothing. Now it's onto my healers, though. Alright, Mammoth, where art thou? Oh, a bit too little, too late, it looks like. Untargetable gonna buy me a couple of moments, but not enough of them. Okay, how do we adjust this? Good, on one hand I can sack the magma and get emergency granite. Let's try. It's worth the attempt. The last round didn't work out. And this would put me in my ranger in a little bit more of a safer position. Maybe I can get a couple extra casts out of them instead. Okay, we've got the speed, but do we have the firepower? The tank line's definitely not there. Shunt's coming out here from the Mammoth. Stuns them up, but here comes Riplance once again. That shall do the trick. Hey, that is still not a bad time, nonetheless. $1470, the highest I've ever been. Not bad, not bad. One more time. End of season, whenever the end of season does end up being. I would love to be able to say I hit 1500. Part of me wants to look at leaderboards, but I know anytime I do is when I usually choke myself. Yes, GG, thank you. Oh, hang on a second. I just realized. I wasn't even intending. But I had a Blasonite and a Marmite on the board at the same time. There we go. I actually got my quest done. I did not think I was going to get that one done at all. It's not shown as completed right now. The Titan Ore would have definitely been valuable, because, yeah, the biggest issue I was having there is my front line was getting torn through. But I was in a really screwed up spot, personally, where I was fighting for both, the fully evolved squeeze, which why do I always forget the name of it? I want to call it Dr. Octavius, but I know it's not Octavius. But yeah, I was bound. I think I was either 1 or 2 Illuvials away from a Titan Ore and the fully leveled squeeze. Should have probably just sold one, committed to the other. Definitely would have been the play. Aphisto, that's the one that it is. Yeah, either way, I feel like I needed to commit to one. Whether it had been the Aphisto or whether it had been the Titan Ore. Having the two was greedy. I should have sold one and went for the other. 100%. Definitely makes sense. Like, I could have kept them both up until, like, that last battle. But at least at that last battle, I needed to commit, and I didn't. Yeah, there was many rolls there that A was giving me Scarabogs, and I think I passed on them because I was still focused so hard on finding Squeeze. And optimally, the way that it was rolling out there, I could have absolutely had a Titan Ore at one point. That's one of the benefits, of course, of having stream, having the VOD, to be able to do some VOD review as a competitor, just like I would do for commentating, just a VOD review for competitor side of things. And it does also help, of course, that all you beautiful people here in the chats helped me out. I don't take offense to any of this at all. I thank you for it. Sorry, medicine break. What do we start with? Huh. Yeah, good eye, Texan. We're at Crystal Shores, but what are we doing? That's kind of interesting. So now I'm torn. If this is the Crystal Shores where Stage 2s start showing up, huh, okay. Alright, into this one, it looks like tankiness is on the menu. We have already the 2 blues. Can't go wrong with cascading, but at the same time I also liked the thorns. Even this I don't mind. We'll try this one this time. Give you a shield. Give you a shield. Release the pew pew. And turn you into an empath because I value your shields more than the rest. And of course I have potato reflexes, so I could not get that augment on in time. Hopefully I don't lose this round by just a smidgen of health, because then I'm going to be kicking myself. It looks like we're cruising, though, to start things off here. Alright. Wait for the next round to go. Item-wise or weapon-wise. I don't like fighters, I don't like rogue, I don't like rogue. I got a bulwark. And then... I don't like rogue. Okay. Shields. This style does, of course, open the door for possible magma once again down the road later. I will level up one. And bring Atlas to the battle. Put you up here. Gives me 3 bulwarks right off the rip, which is nice. I was not paying attention to the fact that there were rogues on the other side, so I'm absolutely going to deservedly pay for this one. If I'm lucky, my tanks and empaths can hold the line, but I would understand if they couldn't. Yeah. Unlucky. Okay. Tankiness is on the menu. What do we want? None of that, none of that. Mitigation, kind of. I really don't like this. This isn't looking too good to me. Don't like the mitigation. Yeah, this sucks. Just gonna go for the energy refund. Even though it's truly a nothing burger of a augment. Good fight, but we're going to lose this one as well. Texan going to take me out here. Now I'm going to get whacked by the vine this time. Okay. What do I have kind of out of place right now? There is, of course, that rogue coming this time. I'll actually position for it this time. And links check. What do we got? It's actually the empath links, eh? I should have put more tanks down there. For some reason, I did not click in my head that that was multiple rogues and not just 2. Okay, we're inadvertently loose streaking, but that's okay. How many lynxes do we have on board right now? Just the 1 lone lynx, 2 lynxes there. Okay, there are lynxes, but nobody's actually evolved one. We're about to hit level 5. So if I'm gonna look for it, it can happen soon. Granted, the Empath Lynx and the Archos both kind of fulfill the same role. Granted, they're both kind of good at 2 different things, though. One's better off at topping people off, and the other one is better at saving people. Or saving Illuvials. There are a lot of yellow components here. Playing over on the right-hand side with that yellow component is exactly where I'm looking. Let's pick you up. And 2 Lynxes do end up showing up here. Let's get rid of the Doka. That I don't care for so much. Magic damage, what do we have? Where's my engine? There's my engine. Attack damage, what do we have? Got the attack speed, but the health percent I value a little bit heavier right now. Now that we hit level 5, throw one more tank out there. The Kling is going to get out there in the last possible second. A little bit out of position, but we'll at least get there. See if I can get another shot here from my Fleesh onto that Ranger before it gets a chance to pop another Omega. It actually goes directly into the Atipo instead, so worst case scenario. Wouldn't have made the difference though. It looks like we're still going to get rained on. Unfortunate. Second, for the additional bulwarks, probably not the play. If I look for my Lynxes now, I'm actually going to end up finding my Archos, so we'll do that. Archos, come on, play. That's not how we bind. Put you here, you there, you there. I am whiffing on my mouse clicks, my goodness. Absolutely deserving the L's here in this early game. It's not lag or nothing, I'm just dropping the ball. The duel here, I believe, just actually came off a solid finish in the Leviathan tournament that happened yesterday. Is clapping me here alongside that Lynx, so it's no longer uncontested. There's 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Maybe I don't go so hard on Lynx this time. There's the potential here for Aegis, so I can do this. Spread everybody out. God forbid the Aegis goes to the damn Atipo. That would be heartbreaking. I'm gonna super pump my Fleesh for the time being until I can get an appropriate carry. Might not have been a bad play, actually. This is working. Okay, so with the way this is playing out, then... Excuse me. Level up to 7, maybe get to 8 if we can. Try and take as little damage as possible. Granted, we're already down to 70s, which isn't too pleasant. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's obviously not great. If I happen to find a Lynx, it can replace the Atipo for now, but I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Keep finding these Archies, though, which is kind of interesting. There's 1 Archos. They don't have any on their board. Any other Archos? No. That is interesting. The potential for pulling the trigger and trying to find an Archelion is definitely tempting. I already have the Kling as well, so in theory, if I get up to the next level here, say level 6, for the potential where I can start finding tier 3 units, it's a little bit better. Maybe there is the potential that I can do a little bit of rolling. Okay, thankfully that extra percent health damage coming out here from the Fleesh is doing a fantastic job at slowly but surely chipping away at some of these big guys. Even going through the healing from both that Archos and that Lynx. Beautiful. Need some better augments though. Air I don't care about. Empath I can maybe make work. Tier 3 attack speed, nay. Omnivamp, that's probably what I'm gonna end up picking here. Yeah. Omnivamp for sure. The extra credit is gonna end up going towards here. I'm going to dispose of two, or the Tipo. Drop 2 bulwarks. I've got my 5 now. Similar to the last game, at least now that I got the 5, I know I have at least a front line. I can worry about my DPS next, especially if the components fall in my favor. There is a Ramphy in my shop. I frankly just don't care about Ramphy. It is a very, very cool and awesome alluvial, but it just a playstyle I do not enjoy playing. If that hurts me later, then it is what it is. Double piercing is a thing? Or personally, I never like stacking the same augments, so guess we'll just take this one instead. Pop this onto the Felicia. Let's keep that on you. Hetty is here now too. I'm kind of interested with that. Gotta back my alluvials up a little bit here. Make it so that y'all are close. Put you in the back. And start rolling. Twine has arrived. Teddy is here. Curious about the Alfie? I mean, I could get 4 water that way. I'll put it on my board for now, but I gotta think about it, because we're still gonna end up losing this one here, it looks like. Archos, one more heal before you go down, buddy? No, not this time. Okay, Joker 7 here. Fighter squad with the assistants. Is that a water squad, basically? It is a water toxic squad. Interesting, okay. $60, definitely rough, especially compared to the first game we played. Healing over time, sure, I'll take. I'm gonna do the 1-for-1 swap here. Let's get Alfie on board. It has an engine, but then everything else is attack damage, so I really do need to find something different. And then compared to the bull, I think I'm gonna put Eddie down. Just overall a little bit tankier. And we do now have Wildfire, which is a nice little bonus. But because now, composition-wise, I need higher tier stuff, so I'm gonna, as long as I safely can, try to stay above 70 and use this extra credits on leveling. Alfie barely going to hang on there. But look at how quickly this Fleesh is firing things off. We need to get in there and get those healers out of there. Alright, nicely done. Squad comes through clutch. Not a ton of firepower, but we got enough right now. Little nervous, but not too uncomfortable at the same time. I could use one of these yellow components on the board. Mammoth in particular would be nice, but it's on the complete opposite side of the board from me. That or slash, and if I had to, we do get Mammoth. So best case scenario here for me, in my opinion. Love having Mammoth on as one of my final alluvials. Being Scion usually lets me break that 4 Scion mark. Give my other squad a little bit of extra firepower, but then also having the crowd control to keep me alive. I really don't have anyone else that can truly take advantage of the attack augments as of right now. So I'm going to put this onto Archos and continue to level up a little bit. This is a full rogue squad, isn't it? Shoot. Eyes are definitely not where they should be right now, and of course, trying to fight rogues with an Alfie I find is incredibly difficult, and I am going to 100% deserve that Ramphy Elves that just completely bent me over, so to speak. We do have a little bit of fire, maybe we can take 1 or 2 more alluvials off the board, but that one was definitely painful. Ramphy had all day to do exactly what I wanted. Next level on the board. Maybe I can get Mammoth on a little bit early. Give me the 2 Scion plus a little bit of extra protection. Mammoth can come play. Maybe you can be the one that uses the attack damage stuff. Which would then, in theory, allow me to maybe hyper-focus this. What is that, a Blazonite over there? Links-wise, I don't think I'm going to be using these anymore. Let's sell yous off. Continue to try to level here. Alfie does get the shot through the 2 alluvials in the back. Where's the shunt from the Mammoth? Right into the front line, it looks like. Good little stun, but the damage is still being done in the back line. Zenrels got damage, but does not have healing, so I might be able to just chip away at this, thankfully, with the help of that wildfire. One more shot there from Alfie, and one more shot from my Mammoth, and we will clean this up, it looks like. The Rod should be able to blow up both the guys on the front line, but as soon as my Alfie charges up one more shot, there we go. Whack him down, and we're golden. Because I have space now, I'm going to move my augment over to Alfie. Continue to use my extra credits above 70 on my level. Let's see, gets level... Get level 8, but I had realized that I don't actually have a good target for my next level's alluvial, like which alluvial I'm going to put on. So I'm going to take the add-ons that I had on the bench. Or not on the bench, in the shop. Bulwark, Earth. I kind of want Earth, but hang on a second here. Thorns, not really. Max health with a bunch of health, I kind of like that. Yeah, okay. Stick with that. Get Earth. Oh, I should have maybe went for the fire. Put this onto the tank. Let's move this onto the higher tier tank. Give you this, another level onto the Matmut. There's the level. Let's put Appon out here. And then maybe we can find some luck here with our rolls. We did get there in time. The Earth pick ended up being a bonus. So now we have the 3 Earth synergy for a lot of extra tankiness. The Lalura in the backline here is definitely a nuisance, but thankfully it's not timed up properly to actually stun my Alfie while it's shooting. But the front line coming out here, that Lynx looks like it's too much of a mess to deal with. Shunt from the Mammoth is going to make things a little nasty. Yeah, the fact that my Alfie was not positioned in a way that it could shoot the entire squad is going to hurt me in this instance. Probably going to end up losing this one. I mean, we're still swinging. We're still trying. One more shunt. Nah, we're going to hit. Okay. No. Maybe. Okay, maybe. Squeeze showing up makes things awkward, but a little interesting at the same time, and are in a bit of a scenario similar to the last game. First off, let's get rid of the stuff that I'm probably not going to evolve in the slightest. Flare coming into play is going to make this thing as well. Let's maybe replace the water for that. This does then allow me to get Magma on the board, but this is a rogue squad. We need somebody in the back line. We need them in the back line as quickly as possible. And unfortunately, while I was panicking with my Alfie, I should have just leveled up my damn, or moved my, no, leveled up my Ampon. First shot from the Alfie is going to do some decent damage. However, this is where things are going to get problematic. Do we have the health bar to hold the line on the Magma? That's the question. I mean, the Ranger's doing a good job. AoE possible, but not enough healing. Anything from a higher level Dapon to a little bit of better positioning on that Alfie could have definitely turned that fight around. Just goes to show the amount of stuff you have to think about while you're competing. Eddie is already leveled. Claire is here as well, rather. This team is not going to worry about diving in on me. In fact, this isn't actually a bad squad for my current layout. Squeeze coming in makes things interesting. Bring the both of you directly into their faces. I know I'm giving up the healing, but I'm going to place Magma right on their face. Alright, Alfie, how did you end up all the way up there? I needed you for a little bit of extra attack bonus, and now you have like the perfect angle to miss pretty much everybody. Shunt coming out here from the Mammoth. Can we use that as the target now? Come on, Alfie. Barely breaching the shields. I need some sort of better engine for this mid-game. This gives me a quick first shot, but it slows down after the fact. I mean, I think I've got the answer for it, and it is sitting there right in front of me. Come on, stay alive here. Ah, damn it. Okay. And this is our answer. Get back over there. I'll protect this Octius with all that I can. Bind Mammoth for shock. Move you here. Move you here. Protect the squad as best as we possibly can. Alfie was just not cutting it. Octius with a little bit of extra shock with the new bonding. Can this work? Mammoth's going to be the one tanking it, and actually ends up moving away from the back line, so best case scenario here for my DPS. Low-key, my Illuvials and my Ranger are treating this like a raid battle. He got targeted, move away from the team. I could not have executed that better if I had manual control over every Illuvial, and that is actually going to cause the elimination here of Dobra. Damn, alright. I just wish I had more firepower, some more magic components. There's like nothing. Okay, these are all full components actually. I need the bird. Granted, this is just purely damage. It's still not going to take away my issue with longer battles, but at least that first initial shot or two will hit harder. I can't complain about that. Scary part about all this too is that one loss and I'm basically curtains. What I do next will completely depend on what augments or what imprints or anything like that shows up from these from this NPC rounds, because there is the potential of getting 4 Scion if I get a Scion imprint. If that does happen, I need to level up to 9 and place the Sanalf back on the field. Okay, let's see. Fusion. Gonna be... Yeah, I can't waste too much time here, so energy piercing, let's try it. Brawler. Cleanse and untargetable. Sure. You are the brawler. Switch augments. Thank you. Switch augments, please. I'm very worried not with another option. I'm gonna end up placing the Snarl right in the middle of everybody because I was too damn slow, unfortunately. Damn it. Might be the end of the road, but we'll see. Come on, Octius, we need some big shots, we need them quickly. It's far enough away that this Lolura is basically doing nothing in the background. But by focusing on keeping it away for so long, it is leaving the rest of my field open to getting slaughtered. Man. Yep, I choked her. Can't win them all. Unlucky. Hey, my pleasure, Winnie. Thank you for coming and joining us. Wait. Let's see. I told my wife I'd be done at noon, and it's 11:55. So in terms of games, that will be it for now. But we'll close up shop here in just a moment's time. Again, big thank you. Big thank you to everybody for tuning in, for all of the support as well from the Illuvium community, to Illuvium themselves for retweeting the stream on X. Big thank you there as well. It has been an absolute pleasure being a part of the community, And while this game is small, of course, it is still, in my opinion, still very, very early. Lots of exciting stuff in the background being worked on. And I'm just overall excited and happy to be here. Game plan for the next couple of days. So, the next time you'll see me on stream is probably on Illuvium stream this weekend for the IPL 250 Grand Finals. I do have the opportunity to cast that alongside Caveman and Paz once again. Should be a good time. Good luck to everybody competing on Friday through the sit and goes. Congrats to all those that make the instant qualifier from past results. Good to see, good to see. And then in terms of my own personal streams, you'll probably see some more videos coming out here from myself over the next couple of days. Been working pretty hard at trying to get something out at least every other day. That's not including a shorts. Shorts are kind of just mixed in there now. It used to be a thing that I'd want every single day. Now, I'm focusing a little bit harder on the long-term content. But with that, it shall be time to close up. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you